Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm the host, Jay Works with the Most, and this the podcast everybody wants to talk about. Street Savvy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here definitely putting the most to the work. Today, I'm starting off to let you guys know, as you see, I'm not in my suit attire or suit and tie. I'm wearing my own apparel, which is PD Code, hat, sweatsuit, and for further notices, that's what we're going to be doing in the next several weeks and months to come. We are launching a new part of the brand, the sportswear PD Code, and we hope you guys like it. And we hope to get the children's brand on too in the several year and month to come. I love it. I love what we're doing with it, and I hope you folks like it too. We're gonna really broaden size it by putting it on every podcast, every social media outlet we on to, just to put it and let you know that, guys, we giving it to you much as we can give to you content as well as apparel. PD Code, if you see we got it on, if you like it, leave me some suggestions. We have sweatsuits, t-shirts, hats, jackets, socks, you name it. Mark neck, turtlenecks. We got it all, folks. Crew neck, scullies. We got it all. PD Code, ladies and gentlemen. PD Code. Okay, let's get into some of the news of the day. We got a great topic as well. The topic is, how old is too old to live with your mom and dad? That's the topic, folks. But before we get to the topic, we're going to get to the news. Oh, and other news. J-Works Entertainment is this umbrella that we up under. PD Code is, and as well as that great podcast, Street Savvy. J-Works Entertainment is here to bring you content, movies, films, videos, clothing line, as you see, is PD Code Clothing and Apparel, podcasts, you name it. And we want to bring you great content, real great content. And what we're going to do coming up soon, starting February 1st, we got a women's show. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, an all-women show produced by women and as well as narrated by women. And the big thing is I'm going to be there as well. Got a hand in it, executive producer, you name it, whatever I can do in post writing as well. But the show is called The One and Only. You guys ready? Hold on, let me get a drum roll. She, the reporter. Yes, baby. She, the reporter. Now, what this lady is going to be bringing to you, or lady, going to be bringing to you great content. Real sassy, beautiful, respectful things to say, things from their heart and soul. And they're going to report on what's at hand, what's trending daily. And they're going to report a lot of great things. They have a lot of great avenues and definitely support the women's movement, as well as being a single parent, as well as being a strong woman, business-minded woman as well, and leadership in the community as far as college, school, and as well as having apparels, modeling, things like that nature. These women's going to produce a lot of great content. I'm not going to spill all the beans, but remember, she, the writer, is coming out real soon. Not just writing, reporting. She's going to be reporting and writing and things that, everyday things we want to hear and see. Hopefully you guys stay tuned to it. Appreciate it. She, the reporter. That's the new show. Okay. News of the day. We're going to start like we always start off, folks. How you doing out there? News of the day. There's several games on NBA slate tonight. The Grizzlies against the Pelicans. That came on. That should be on already against Grizzlies against the Pelicans. That came on at 7:30. The Spurs against the Bucks tonight at 10. My Celtics against the Warriors. And the Phoenix Sun against the Portland Trailblazers. That's exactly tonight at 10, and that's what's on the NBA slate. In other news, news that's trending, McDonald's has opened up its own self-serve delivery restaurant in the United States. Yes. They're going to be serving and restaurant and things of your nature that McDonald's always have. So check that out allegedly. They're going to be doing a great thing, McDonald's, huh? And Britney Spears is performing on Broadway on the Broadway musical. So I guess one of the biggest miracles that's out, Britney Spears will be performing. So kudos to Britney Spears. Britney Spears, I hope everything gets right on that on that as well. And that's all we got today for news, folks. Okay. Let's head into the topic of the day. Topic of the day, folks. How old is too old to be living with your mom and your dad? Let's go, folks. Let's go. How old is too old to be living with your mom and your dad? You know, that seems like a great topic. A great, it's something that we all endure with every day. I'm gonna tell you, folks, living with mom and dad is not a bad thing these days. According to how the economy is real shot. Everything's in the air. Everything is it's costing too much. It's cost worthy. It's cost savvy. It's cost everything, folks. And if you're living at home, and if you any help you can get, excuse me for the technical difficulties. Yes. If you any help you can get, folks, get it. It's hard out there. It's hard in being the person of who you are, as trying to get work or education for yourself, and to bring some good wealth care and child care to your family. It's real hard out there. I know for myself, I take it back 20, 30 years. Living at my dad's home in the projects in Boston. It was hard to get out on my own. Boston was expensive then, and God knows it's expensive now. And Dad helped me in many shapes or forms of fashion. As far as had custody of my son at 16, 17 years old. And Dad had to be on the documents with me because I didn't have a home. I still was technically up on his roof. And Massachusetts state law 21. But you know how it is. And in urban neighborhoods, you act grown, you grown. You want to be grown, you grown. You want to do grown folks things, you're going to do grown folks things. But my dad was there to me. He was there for me. He was there for my son. And the rest of my kids as well. You know? And I can't repay that man. But today's day and age, especially now with the regime is in the White House and how the economy's going, I'm not blaming nobody but what's going on in the White House. It's trickling down to the government. It's bad, folks. It's bad. And our children are going to need the help and the wealth too. If you ask me, I'd rather for our children to stay home with us than to be struggling out there and, be out there not knowing how to find themselves, not knowing where to go, and someone taking complete advantage of our children. So if you ask me, as a clear shot out there, I want my kids to be home with me. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not definitely going to hold you back. And if you got your kid and your kid's grown, and especially if your kid doing the right thing. Now, if your kid doing the right thing, help paying bills, help cooking dinner, help with the younger ones. If you got young ones at the home, hey, I have no problem with that, folks. I think our children are our prodigy. Our children are our future. And I believe in just taking care of your future, taking care of your kids, man. Because the streets definitely ain't going to take care of them. They're going to chew them up and shit them out. I believe in that. I'm a soul believer in that. I think we need to be, as adults, more accountable today than any other time. I really think that. I really think that's not a happening fact. That's a definite fact. We need to be there for our children. We definitely do. This is something that is going on daily in our lives. Poverty is really high. Homeless is pretty high. I looked at a number several months ago. I did a story for kids. Yeah, like 83,000 in some numbers for homeless kids. Almost 25, 35% of the population homeless today in New York State. So yeah, I want my kids to be in my house. You know, I want my kids to definitely be in my house. You know, and definitely I want my kids out in the street. I want my kids well taken care of, and knowing that I'm around. Knowing that I'm gonna be there. Knowing that someone's gonna be there. And definitely, yes, ladies and gentlemen, our topic today is a huge topic. Is how old is too old to live with your parents? Hey, we got a caller. Hello, who's this calling? Hey, Kristen. Kristen Bouchard. Hey, how's it going, Chris? Good, good. Are you here to talk about the great topic we got on today? The topic is how old is too old to be living with your parents? Yeah. And now, how you feel about that? To me, I think I'm not pushing my babies nowhere. You know, and in the same instance, I today in my home, I have a 21-year-old that's turned 21, and he's still trying to find himself. He's my baby. He's second year of college. He hasn't really found no work that suits him. He's been trying, but decision with me and his mom, it's 50-50. But I want him to stay here. He cooks and clean. He does his hair. He helps out with his siblings. He does his chores because there's chores in my house. There's chores in Dad's house. And so, and that combo and that nature, I think that's a growing thing. Like you said, it's too hard out there for our kids to be out there, young or old. And is that the same opinion you have or no? Right. And and just to throw in even more, salt on that fire. I just think, and again, I just think it's very hard. It's very hard today for anyone. To try to go out there and try to provide and try to challenge those bills. Because everybody has bills. Let's not ever get that twisted. It's bills, and it's always going to be. There's going to be bills when you're dead, actually. But if I can help it for my kids, again, for me to help my kids on a way that they can help themselves, I'm with it. I'm all for a minute. If I got to work a double or two just to make ends meet on my own, I will. I'm there because my kids are my future. My kids are my heart. My kids are something that they didn't get asked to be bought here. I help make them. I help create them. And in some shape or form, I help mold them and shape them. And why should I send them out to wolves?
Exactly. Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. It's just, I guess it's a disservice when I see that and I hear it. And this is a topic brought out to me by the wife, actually. The wife brought it up, and I thought about it. I ran it past you, and I'm like, wow, this is something that America is forced with every day now. To either put their child on the street or keep their 30-year-old kid at home. And then, the old school saying is, you know what? You're doing grown folks things. You want to do grown folks activity. You want to act like you're grown. You want to be grown. Go on and get it on your own. Well, you know what? I'm here to tell you, and I don't know how you feel about that sentiment, but I'm here to tell you I'm reversing that. I'm not sending my baby out to Joe Biden's world. I'm not Joe Biden's world and Obama academics. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not sending my child out to Obama's world and Joe Biden's world and Obama's academics. I'm not doing it. Yeah. I'm not forcing my child. I'm not asking my child. All I'm asking my child to do is abide by my rules. Now, is that hard?
No, it shouldn't be. It should not be. Level of respect, you're letting the child, I don't want to call an adult a child, but, you're letting them live there, it could be much harder. So the respect has to be there, and the understanding, and the gratefulness, you're helping them out. So when you called it Joe Biden's world, it is definitely his world. It is sad that, Americans have to work 2 or 3 jobs, just to live.
Yeah.
And then to have another mouth to feed. Can you imagine? That's not easy.
Yeah, that's again, and I definitely have a sentiment to what you're saying. No, it's not easy. It's not easy for any one of us to make that decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I tell you what, decision I'm making, stay here, boy. Go ahead, girl. Go upstairs. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah.
Go on and make you a pallet. Bring that mattress downstairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure you respect your little sisters and brothers. Hey, nobody comes in this house later than me. Period. You know what I'm saying? Respect your mother. For and foremost, respect your mom. But anything else? Hey, my babies are here. I'm not even gonna go there. I can't even listen. My dad, and I'm gonna give a story. I'm always giving a story. My dad was the best thing that ever happens to me. And at one point I got out of line. Oh yeah, I got out of line. I thought I was that guy. I had seen a couple thousand, a couple grand, and I've been around hustling, selling dope. You know what I mean? And I got cute. That cuteness ate me up. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, man. That man, all right, let me lock my door. You going out there and do what you do. Don't come back here. Man, I went to one of my cousin's house. His mother was like, nah, not up in here you won't. Whatever your dad say goes over here too. And so we out on the block, other side of the projects, bumpy roads. We out there. This is 1, 2. I'm tired as hell. I'm glad it was summer. So me and my friends like, let's go to the park. We all chilled in the park. Man, I'm laying on the bench. Man, it got cold in the mug. It got cold. I'm like, wow. So my cousin ended up sneaking me in his crib. You gotta leave early, cuz. So I get there. A couple hours of sleep. You gotta go. I got a dookie. I got a boo boo. Man, can't boo boo right because you're in somebody's house. You know, it can't be loud with it. Yeah, man. So more of the story is, man, it took 2 days of being out there with money in my pocket. I went back to my father like, yo, Pop, what you need help on, man? Yo, that talk I had was bull. You know, what you need me to do? You know what I mean? Wash some walls, do some floors. I'm with it. Yeah. And ever since that day, I tell you, oh, no. 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 It was hard being a PIP. Man, listen, I applaud my parents for never being homeless, for one, and for whatever they had to do. We lived in a project, so what? That was a house. You know what I mean? That was a place. You know what I'm saying? I applaud my parents for everything. If you ask me, no. That level right there of just knowing, sending my babies out and trying to figure it out, girl, that breaks my heart. I'm a big baby, for one, when it comes to kids. And with my own, I'm definitely there. I can't see nothing but my kids being with me. You know, I'm a big kid when it comes to them. I'm a big person in heart. I'm doing everything necessary for my babies. You know, up to this day, they taking child support out to my kids over 25. Up to this day. And I don't make us think about it. I want them to stop. But, you know, they're my kids. And for me to have to put mine out, girl, listen, that ain't me. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. You know? And I know on the other hand, you know, I got daughters as well. I ain't doing it. And I know you got daughters. How you feel about that whole thing?
Well, you know, I agree. I'm not sending my kids out to the wolves, you know. You know, when I was younger, I times are different, you know. I tell them when I was their age, I had my own place. You know, I had my first daughter, I had a car, and I had a job, and I had to support myself. I didn't have any help. I did not have any help. I had to make it, and it was plenty of days I struggled. You know?
You say you had to fake it to make it?
Yeah. I ain't even gonna lie.
Talk about it.
Man, it was bad.
Wow.
It was bad.
Wow.
I made it somehow, you know? I didn't get the lesson I'm giving my daughters.
I hear you.
Maintain their life outside the house. I did not get that.
Right.
You know, and a lot of parents push their kids out. Oh, you're 16, you're 18, you graduated high school, you're grown, get out. Well, did you teach them how to make an appointment? Did you teach them about credit, balancing their bank account? You know, they're picking the right friends and eating the right foods. Do they even know how to cook and wash their clothes properly? You know, a lot of these young people don't. You know, I gave my daughters all those tools, and they're still out. So, but they show me what I teach them. So, like you, they can stay, because I don't want to see my kids struggle.
Right.
So I'm not. You know?
Right.
You know, so I'll always be here for them. I tell them, you know, if you ever need a home, when you do move out, if you ever need to come back, you got the couch.
There you go. Wow.
Taking your rooms, doing what I want to do with them.
Right. Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
I mean, and you saying that, I just feel like that's something I heard over the years with my parents and things that, hey, my dad was saying, hey, listen, you get up, you leave them out of here. It's other situations for that. You know, it's other kids who need that. So that led me to not burning my bridges per se, doing the right thing since the one incident me and dad got into, and just knowing my worth, that being in my house, my father's house, is the best thing for me.
Exactly.
So when I did get on my own, when me and my kid's mom, we moved out, she moved out her mom's, we moved out her mom's, I moved out my dad's. We was doing 2 jobs each, and we was making it. And we see what both our parents, because both our parents had career jobs at the time. Her mom worked in the hospital as a head maternity ward nurse, and my dad was one of the head housemen, and plus a big part of the union, and it was just huge. You know what I mean? And for dad to show me to have 7 kids, I'm talking about us getting in trouble every now and then, and dealing with the grandkids as well. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from my dad, and being on my own, Lord, I tell you. And I always had a sibling who was out there before me. Like my older sister, God bless her soul, Takesha. My sister was our backbone, but God damn, we always applauded her. Damn, sis, you doing it. Still got your own crib, Like we can come over and crash and hang out, and but she was like, nah, this is my kids, but y'all come here, y'all ain't gonna be in the street. So we had some backbones. My dad and my sister was the backbone of matriarchs of my family. Until we got going, because I was dealing with women. I was a whore. So, I was a whore. I was out there dealing, willing, and dealing. Having my own place was in the back of my mind. But hey, you had a crib, I'm with you. You got kids, I'm with you. I'm taking care of. You know what I mean? I had all the attributes. I just had my own spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I learned, and you live and you learn, and from learning and living around dad and the great stepmom and having a mother always at her apartment and my sister at hers, that led me to get mine and stay with him. You know what I mean? And get mine and want my kids with me, because my dad had all of us with him. He didn't play them games. My kids were with me. And that's what I want to do in life, and I always still want that at this day and age. I want my kids and grandkids to be with me. If I had a choice, I have a 16-bedroom mansion, 5 or 6 bathrooms, and everybody, as long as you help cook and clean, you know what I mean, pay some of these bills, I want my kids with me. And that's just who I am, I think that's where it should be. And I'll see that in the real world, and it's not like that. Because a lot of us want to do grown folks things. We want to live and do multiple partners. We want to be trisexual. We want to be lesbian leaders. We want to be all that. But you got to do that when you want to do grown folk stuff again. You want to act like you grown. You want to be grown. You can do that in your own confinements of your own place.
That's right.
So that's where I'm at with that. I think we gotta think first. We gotta come together and put those bills and things on the table and be able to balance it out. I think without being balanced and without knowing family first, you would not have none of that unity.
That is true.
What is your last words on this? You got any last thoughts on this before I shut it up?
My last thoughts and words are, this is a wonderful topic. I'm so glad your wife brought it up. And I'm really glad you're speaking about it. I think people need to hear it, so they don't feel alone if they choose to let their older child live with them. It's not an embarrassment.
Wow.
It's a necessity, and it's a need, and it's love and compassion, because you don't want your child to fail. And in these times, we all need each other. Financially, we need some help. So kudos to those ones that are helping out, if they can, or if they can't. It's understandable. Just do what you got to do to survive.
Right. I agree.
To survive.
I definitely agree. It's much well taken from a person of your caliber. You would know you a single parent. You got 4 young ladies and a son living with you, and you're very passionate about your words and your children. And the same here. Again, folks, before we end, we have great news. We are now going to be wearing PD Code Fashion and Apparel, PD Clothing and Apparel, on each show and with that we do. This out decides who are we? You know, we're a big conglomerate on a huge umbrella, and we want to make sure you guys are wearing and hearing the things we say and looking like us. PD Code is a code behind that. And as well as we have a female show, guys, coming out pretty soon, starting February 1st, 2024. The female show is called She the Reporter. That's right. Women reporting content and great things is what we need. You know, we got a lot of men doing it. We got this and that doing it, but we don't have women or a woman expressing herself about reporting things she hear and see, and that's what's trending today in our lives. And her being sassy, pizzazz, beautiful on set, being a she woman as it is, we want that. We want to endure that. We want that a part of this umbrella, and we're gonna bring it to you guys live, direct, and well, and raw and sexy as it can be. So again, folks, the new show, She the Reporter, is coming out February 1st, 2024. Look out for it. And it's all up on the J-Works Entertainment umbrella. And who knows? The host might be somebody you know. So God bless you, folks. Thanks for the caller. Would you stay on hold, caller, for a second?
I'm here.
Thanks for the caller for calling. It's always good to hear your voice. Kristen Bouchard, great co-host, great person in mind, a great person interest. And in saying that, make sure you folks subscribe and like the podcast, Street Savvy. I'm the host, Jay Works. Co-host on the phone, Kristen Bouchard. And thank you guys for tuning in. And appreciate you guys tuning in again. God bless. Good job, Chris.